Well, Trent, obviously an ugly night, I guess, for the game if there was racism levelled at Latrell Mitchell. As a key figure in this game, it's been around for a while. How disappointing is it to see a fan allegedly racially abused?
Yeah, it's, people have different emotions. That's why we watch sport. But to express it in that way is just, it's just wrong. It's just unacceptable, and it can't be, shouldn't be tolerated. I heard sort of Jason's comments, I think, about banning him for life, and as it should be. We have to stamp it out, and it's it's not about teams and who someone plays for. This is a deeper issue, and it's unacceptable.
Can you believe it's still happening in 2020?
Yeah, because that's where we're still at as a country. That's pretty standard for some people are casual racists, and some people are overt like it was last night, and that's still where we're at. And it's people don't like strong Indigenous voices like Latrell. They'd rather he stay sort of quiet in his box and don't express it in that way. And and that's how it comes out, and it's unacceptable. So it's really disappointing. Taking off the colours that you wear and all of that, it's just not on.
I know a rugby league jersey doesn't equate to biker gang colours or anything like that, but allegedly the offender was wearing a Roosters jumper. Given the proud history of this club, beginning with an Indigenous national captain, the team sport, how disappointing is that if it is the case?
Yeah, really. I just heard about it 5 minutes ago, and it's really disappointing, because we just don't represent the Roosters in that way. That's not how we want to act as Roosters, and whether we like it or not, they were wearing our colours, and we have to accept that, but that doesn't mean they're a Rooster. If you want to act like that and abuse people and do it racially like that, then that's not who we are. That's not who we want to be, and we need to get better than that. So that's, from us, apologising from the Roosters to Latrell is important, even though it's not directly. Indirectly, one of our fans who support us did that, and that's not right.
Robbo, you know Latrell quite well. Is it even more frustrating just given how strong of a leader he is in the Indigenous space in this game? Yeah,
as I said before, we obviously, we had big rivalries with him last year, and he's won grand finals in this jersey as well, and but take out all of that, take out the jerseys that they wear. The people don't like someone like him having a really strong voice and him voicing it in different ways. He's got his way of expressing himself, and that's cool. And we're still not at a point where we're happy to accept really strong Indigenous voices in this country. That's really disappointing. And he's doing it in his way, and he's doing it in a way which is really proud. So, it's really, really disappointing from our point of view that it happens at a rugby league game in a Roosters jersey. That's disappointing.
It'd be an absolute tragedy, but is there a fear, knowing him so well like you do, that something like this constantly happening, because it has continued across his career to drive him out?
No, he's too strong for that. I think this will, he'll get stronger and stronger from this. This isn't the first time, we've seen it with Latrell as well, and the man doesn't get. He understands that's a part of his life. So, as far as I understand, I haven't talked to him about it for a few years, obviously, but he understands that, and he'll use it in his way and the right way.
You've known him since 15, 16. Give some insight into how he does stay strong in this, because it's something that no one should have to deal with.
Look, I think that's, to be honest, I think that's more for Jason and Blake and Latrell to talk about rather than me now. He's not sort of one of my players. I can say it from past history, but my thing is to apologise today from a Roosters point of view, and also to support something that shouldn't still be happening. So I think someone else should go into more personal bits about Latrell, and he hasn't been with us for a couple of years.
Robert, on the Roosters, I guess, sort of been anything the last couple of years, slow starts. You made a point of trying to arrest that this season. Where do you think the issue keeps coming up, and I guess you're confident you can fix it tomorrow?
Yeah, that's we weren't, happy with obviously the way that we played on the weekend. It was a cracker of a game up there for them and the way that they played, and we couldn't hold it in that middle period, and it got away from us. So the thing is you've got to fix some things, but you don't need to jump at shadows. You've got to make sure you hold your cool early in the season, fix some things that you feel like needed to improve, and then go after it tomorrow. We're still pretty focused on the way that we want to start this year, and that's no different. Don't get too concerned too early about one game.
How's Victor independent review the docs this week?
Yep. So he had a meeting last night. He's got a test to do today, and then I'll get that before training today. As trying to stay out of that and leave it up to the doctors. But that'll be before training today. Their ruling.
He's had a couple of quite graphic bad ones in the last 12 months. We all love a great defender, and we all love the way he plays. I know you do too. But any thought or need to tweak how he goes about his game to keep him safe?
There is. Without me going into it here, we've discussed it again today, and it comes from the right spot, the way that he wants to play and attack oppositions at certain times to try and make the Roosters better. But him staying on the field is what's best for us. There has been discussions without really going into details there.
Given there's I beg your pardon.
Yep.
Apparently there's a proposal or a report that's about to go to commission level that will recommend a mandatory stand down, similar to AFL or Rugby Union.
Yep.
What's your take on that?
Yeah, I thought it was going to come in before the season, to be honest. I think they were proposing the 11-day stand down. I'm not sure what happened there. Obviously, I didn't know that it's still in the pipeline. So, I think this is a sort of a funny one for a coach, because you have your opinions, you have over the years, but there's people that know this much better than I do to make the rulings, which is why I have my opinion on Rads for this weekend, but you want to leave it up to the independent doctor, and you want the doctors to tell you what should happen. So hopefully that will happen in the next bit of time around the mandatory stand downs, and I'm not sure when that is, but being really clear with clubs is really helpful.
Is removing that grey area good thing, Robert? Like, no, obviously you stood down, but you can get the exemption. We see a lot of players play with that exemption. Like, removing that grey area and just saying that's hard and fast 11 days, is that a good thing?
Well, naturally, there's two things to it, right? So time always helps, right? The longer you wait, the better you think it would be. Just naturally, all of us would think that without us being doctors. And then the second thing is we actually don't know what happens as well. So so no one can say, oh, they are much better or this happens. We're still not that advanced on the short-term effects of concussions. So it's hard to make black and white decisions, which is why it has taken so long to put something into place. But naturally, you would think the longer that we wait, and if that, the better it'll be for the player.
Was there any urge just to arrest Radley regardless? I heard this commentary on Twitter about giving him 2 weeks in his history. Was that something the club's thought about, or you just didn't hands with them?
Well, that's the doctors are part of the club. So, there's all those thoughts, but everyone can have an opinion, but this is why we have the doctors come in and go through a process, and let's wait for today to see what we do there. So it's not something you just wake up and say, oh, well, this is my opinion. This is where you've got to get the doctor's opinion and be really clear on that, and then we'll see that later today.
How's Victor himself? Because it is a serious topic, and as Dan said, we've seen some ugly incidents involving him, but they're not. Is he holding up okay?
Yeah, he's...
Because I know,
yeah.
I guess he's almost his own worst enemy. He wants to get out there and tackle everything that moves, but...
Yeah, there's different types of guys there. Rads is one of those guys that would have played the next day if you gave him the choice. There's been obviously well documented. James Graham's talked about it openly about his thoughts on that whilst he was playing and then post. Rads is no different. He would have played on the Monday if he could have. But that's where doctors, and then the game comes in to protect him from himself as well. So from him personally, there's been no symptoms. He's been really good. He's tested really good. But yeah, that's one side of the players that play our game that the game needs to look after.
There's a law firm that's gathered 30 AFL players, and they're talking class action, and apparently they're going to try a similar sort of tactic with a group of ex-NRL players, the same law firm. Are you worried doctors are a good thing, lawyers are a bad thing? Are you worried that we're going down that NFL path?
To be honest, like I actually saw an interview that morning of the law firm, and all they talked about was money. They didn't talk about what they want to do to support the player and the health of the player and all of that. So I actually do think it's inevitable, but the way that you go about it, if it's just a financial thing, then that's for someone else to work out. But I'm interested in what's the best thing for the player during their career and post-career. That's what we should be doing a bit better.
Robert, do you get frustrated by some of the comments we've seen this week around independent doctor and around concussion? I mean, obviously, Gus has been pretty headline and drawn a bit of criticism, but does that frustrate you? Obviously, you guys at the Roosters have tried so hard to take concussion seriously and look after your players.
Look, I think that's our game. People are looking for opinion. That's why we're here today. That's why we talk about opinions around the game and not the game tomorrow. That's what people are interested in. People are interested in the least questions I get are about the 80 minutes. I get it around the 24/7, everything that goes around it. So that's our game, and people are going to have opinions and write and read about it and watch it. So I understand that. I have my views on the way that clubs have run their concussion protocols, more so within game. And I feel like the independent doctor is a better option than what's happened in the past with doctors in orange shirts. So that's my opinion, and people are going to have, it doesn't mean it's right or wrong. People are going to have different opinions, and then it's up to the smarter people in the white coats to tell us what to do.
Well, that's Joey Manu, obviously, away from concussions. Obviously, comes back from I assume he's coming back, his name
Yep.
come back from this latest fracture. Is there any concern around, I guess, just psychologically for him, like confidence going into tackles and whatnot? Because he's had a few of these incidents, a lot accidental, not really anything he's done wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Not that I've seen it training. He's trained with some protection on that area, which we'll have tomorrow as well. And that's the degrees that you're talking about are hard to work out where they're at with it. And I'm not sure, but I know what I've seen at training and the confidence that he's got from attacking the physical parts of the training. I've seen him in the wrestle room, I've seen him on the field, go into contact, so I feel like he's ready to go.
Headgear tomorrow?
I think so. That'll help protect the protection over that area.
How are you big boys? Matty Lodge has got a decent in
Yep.
there, and how's Jared? Is he week to week?
Yeah, he is. I'd like to name him next Tuesday. Would be the plan. That would be the plan. So I didn't want to name him for this week and get the is he playing, is he not playing. It was sort of better to give him a really good week of training this week. But I'd like to name him next Tuesday. That would be ideal. We're a bit thin, obviously, in that area with a lot of those sort of starting guys out, but we've also, any guy that's been training or that's going to play has been training all pre-season as well. So that's a good part about a club being able to roll their sleeves up and get the job done. So we've got really confidence in those players going to play tomorrow.
Still at Napa, how far away is he from potentially an RL?
So he hasn't, he isn't quite back to full training yet. So I think it's been probably 2 weeks for Naps. So he's got a couple of more weeks of sort of getting his pre-season, I guess, before he gets back even to playing in sort of the reserves or in first. So, but it'd be nice to get Naps to strike a blow sooner rather than later, and we're just progressing that.
There's no update on
No update.
Brandon, is he good to go?
Yep. Yeah, he's ready to go.
Hickey, no Hickey. few of the boys.
I don't know. There's a few. He's got quite a few stitches there. So yeah, I'm not sure. JT bought out his own headgear line because we could buy shares in it this week by the looks at training. So yeah, I don't know. Just he's had that this week to protect the scar that he's got or the stitches that he's got there. So we'll see.
And just lastly, there was reports earlier this week about Joseph taking up the option for next year. Can you confirm that? If so, how big a boost is it to keep? For him to.
Yeah.
Everyone wants a piece of Joseph-Aukuso.
Yeah. I think I don't know where it's at. I've had my discussions with Joey, which has been positive. I'm not sure whether that's formally been taken up or not, but I'm looking forward to having him for 2024. That'll be it's really good. He's been such a key part of our sort of the young guys developing, and then also just the attitude of the way that he holds himself around the group and all that. It's great to have another year with him.
Have you got to have a barrier so Eddie Jones doesn't try and come through something else?
Eddie's welcome anytime. He knows that. We don't. We've got some of theirs, and they've been open about coming to get some of our games. That's the beauty of sport in Australia.
So you're not frustrated like Souths are saying back off Cam Murray?
No, not frustrated. That's the beauty. That's what it should be. We've got players that play both codes, and we think we've got the great product and the best product. They've got a great international game as well. But there's no fear there. We feel like we've got a great sport and a great club, and we'll keep the players we need to keep.